Everyone, this is Marley and welcome to Gardening in Kentucky YouTube channel. In this video, we are going to plant some lettuce. This planting lettuce video is divided into two main parts. The first one is the starting of the seeds using this Jiffy peat pellets, my favorite way to start seeds because this one is very simple and inexpensive. I will also talk about how and when to transplant your lettuce seedlings to a bigger container. These are the materials that we need to start our lettuce seedlings. We need some lettuce seeds. I chose a gourmet blend lettuce. This kind of lettuce is very colorful. It has green and red color, and it takes 45 to 50 days to harvest. We also need a Jiffy peat pellet. It looks like this, and you're going to add warm water to it, and then the peat pellets will grow to 1 up to 1.5 inches. And finally, we need warm water. Growing plants from seeds is an inexpensive way to start a garden. One way that I found, which is very simple, is to start your seeds using Jiffy peat pellets. So the pellets look like this. They're really small. And then you add warm water to these pellets. They will absorb the water and they will grow to about 1 to 1.5 inches. Okay, so let's take a look at the instructions in the back. It says, place pellets in water-light tray and add warm water. Drain excess water when pellets are 1 to 1.5 inches or 2.5 to 3.8 centimeters tall. Okay, so let's do that. So this time, I'm going to pour some water into the tray that has my peat pellets. So we will wait for a little bit. And these pellets should absorb the water. As we can see, our peat pellets are now bigger. So this has absorbed enough water to expand. The next thing that I'm going to do is to pour out the excess water. So I'm going to transfer the expanded peat pellets into another tray. The next thing that I will do is to use a toothpick and kind of open the top of the peat pellet. So here, let's have a close-up of it. So I will just push the netting to the side. Okay, so I'm gonna do this to the other 3 pellets. Now I'm going to break up the top of the pellets so it will be easier to plant the seeds. This one is great for beginners because this is very easy and inexpensive. So my peat pellets are now ready. Now I'm going to put a few pieces of my gourmet blend lettuce. This is a comb and cut again lettuce, so you don't have to harvest the whole plant at once. You can just cut off the leaves and then let the center of that plant grow back, and so you can have more harvest from your plant. Okay, so I'm just dropping a few pieces of seeds in each of the peat pellet. And then I'm going to push the seeds a little bit down. You don't have to push it too much. You just need to make sure that the seeds are covered with this material. Okay, so this one, let's push the seeds down. And for the last one, these seeds are very light, so sometimes they get stuck to the toothpick, so you just have to make sure that you push them back into the peat pellet. So I will wait for 24 to 48 hours and this should start germinating. And then once the seeds start germinating, I will put my seedlings under a grow light. Also, don't forget to put a label. Sometimes if you have so many plants, it's hard to remember what the specific variety is. So this is just a plant label that I made using a plastic cup that I cut out. We'll change the date to today's date. These are the things that we need in the second part of the video, which is the transplanting of the lettuce seedlings. We need lettuce seedlings. I started growing this lettuce over a couple of weeks ago. We need a bigger container. So in this case, I am using this brown pot and it has drainage, and so I need a saucer to catch the water. Since I am keeping these plants inside my house, I will put this pot inside a decorative pot. So the saucer goes in first and then I'll push this down and then the pot will be placed inside. Now, to make this look pretty, I have collected some landscaping stones from my yard. So these landscaping stones will go around my brown pot inside this metal container or metal pot. And the last but not the least, okay, very important, is potting mix. I do not recommend using dirt for this purpose because you don't want to take pests and some plant diseases into your house. So I have pre-moistened my potting mix, and this one is ready to go. Of course, we need some water, so I have water ready in here. We will water our seedling after transplanting. Now let's talk about the transplanting of my lettuce seedlings. These seedlings have been growing for over 2 weeks under my grow light. I have some pre-moistened potting mix. I need this pot. This is where I will put my lettuce seedlings, a decorative container, which I will use because these plants will be grown indoor. And then I will add a few pieces of seeds to grow around this seedling so I can have more harvest in the coming weeks. So the first thing that I'm gonna do is to put some potting mix into the pot. Okay, I'll add a little bit more. Okay, so now I have the potting mix in my pot. Make sure that you put your pot on a planter saucer. And then I will get one of these seedlings and I will plant this in the pot. But okay, so as you can see, this has some roots outside. So when do you transplant your lettuce seedlings? You transplant your lettuce seedlings when it already has at least 2 real leaves. The first 2 leaves are not yet the real leaves, so here this second 2 sets are the real leaves, so this one is good to go. Now, I like taking off the netting because sometimes it hinders the growth of the roots. Now, when you pull this netting off, it will cut some of the roots, but don't worry about it. The roots will grow back, so that's not gonna hurt it. Okay, and I will put this in the center of my pot, and then I will add some more potting mix around this seedling. Okay, so just put that potting mix around the peat pellet that holds your lettuce seedlings. Okay, I will push the potting mix a little bit to get rid of some air. So I'm done transplanting my lettuce to a bigger pot. What I'm gonna do now is I will sprinkle a few pieces of lettuce seeds around my plant. In a couple of weeks, these seeds will grow and you will have more plants in your pot. Okay, that's enough. And then I'm going to push these seeds down, make sure that they're covered with the potting mix. So this is what my plant looks like now. The next thing that I will do is to water my newly transplanted lettuce. Now the best way to water your lettuce or any plant is in the bottom. Okay, so we do bottom watering because say I just planted some seeds, so we don't want to disturb those seeds. We also don't want to disturb the plant, so I'm watering in the bottom, and then the potting mix will just absorb the water from your planter saucer. This one looks good now, so you can do it like this and you're good to go. But as I've mentioned earlier, I want to keep this plant inside my house, so I'm gonna go get another planter saucer and put it inside this metal container. I'm going to put this planter saucer inside my metal planter. The reason why I'm doing this is that I don't want my metal planter to get wet very often because I don't want it to rust. So I'm gonna put this planter saucer inside. This will help hold on to the water. And then I'm going to transfer my pot of lettuce inside my metal planter. Okay, now this is not yet done because the next step is to use some of my landscaping stones that I got from my backyard, and I'm going to put these stones in the metal planter around the pot. Now there are some other materials that you can use for this, but I just chose this because it is free. I just picked this up from the ground, and this also look pretty, and this will keep some airflow around the pot. And so whenever I water my plants, it will be easier for the excess water to evaporate and will not cause root rot. Okay, so I'll just keep dropping these landscaping stones. Some of the ones that I got are really big, so the big ones are not gonna fit, and you don't need to force the bigger stones inside your pot. This is looking good now. As we can see, I'm almost to the top of my metal planter. Oops, that one's too big. I would put the finer stones on top. Awesome! This is so pretty. Now you can put this in your kitchen. This looks good in your kitchen countertop, or you can put this in your windowsill. Make sure you have plenty of light for your plant so it will grow good. So let's have a close-up of my newly transplanted lettuce. So this is my metal planter that has lettuce in it. See how cute that is? That is so pretty. I so love it. And I'm gonna do the same thing with my other seedlings, but I will use different planters like this one. Okay. So let me know in the comment box below if you like planting lettuce indoor and how you like to decorate your lettuce, or if you just put it in your windowsill and harvest whenever you have some of them ready for harvest. If you have some suggestions on how to grow lettuce and some other plants, let me know in the comment box below. Thank you for watching and happy gardening. Bye-bye.